MIC 2025. Awesome. We hope you had an amazing time during the breakout sessions. So right about now, we'd like to go straight into the panel session. So we have a couple of questions. Hello, can you hear me? So we have a couple of questions that have been shared on the Slido link. And if you still have any other question, you could also send them there. So we'll be taking those questions quickly. So right about now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to make a resounding round of applause as we bring on stage all our disruptors. And please, can we appreciate all our disruptors who have committed time, their efforts, their resources to ensure that MIC 2025 is impactful. Yeah, thank you so much. So we'd like to bring up on stage, first of all, Pastor Mavis. And please, can we make a round of applause? We would also like to bring up on stage Gaze Baba. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we bring up on stage Mr. Johnson Abali. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we bring up on stage Miss Ibironke. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we bring up on stage Mrs. Aderonke. Awesome. Yeah, you can keep it going. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, and good afternoon to our distinguished panelists. And thank you so much for joining us at MIC 2025. So briefly, we have certain questions that have been asked by our audience.
Yesterday, I mentioned something about a smoking house, right?
Through the breakout sessions. So
what I am sharing with you,
the first question
I have demonstrated is
directed to Pastor Marvin.
That it can work.
Why is cohabitation a sin? I would like you, Pastor, to touch more light on it because of the mindset I have on it in a positive light.
Okay, praise God. Okay, why is cohabitation a sin? Marriage is honorable in all things, with the bed undefiled. When two people that are not married begin to live together, it is out of order. The reason it's out of order is because you're only free to live with somebody when you have been given consent by the family. If you belong to a church, state. If you want to do traditional alone, do that. You can start living if the family has given you consent. Parents, they blessed you, you can start. If you go to the registry and the family has blessed you, two of them, it's fine. Even if you don't even come to pastor and your family has blessed you and the registry has blessed you, you don't belong to a church, which I don't know the reason why. It's true, because you should belong to a church. So you follow the order of the three, then you live together. Cohabitation is wrong because you cannot be living with somebody that you are not legally married to and not doing anything. Well, are you roommate? Even roommates safe, it will be a problem. You'll be seeing things you're not supposed to see. Am I making sense right now? Will the person change in your front or not? Then there'll be things that you're not supposed to do. So it will increase the level of temptation that both of you will have together. That's the real problem. And the Bible says, flee all appearances. So that being together is an appearance that will lead to evil. You're living together under the same room, you are not married, nobody has given you consent. It is against divine order. And scripturally, we also see from the Old Testament that when Rebekah went to the house of Isaac, the father had released her and they've given her out. If your parents have not released you, if you have not done what you're supposed to do, you don't have the right to start living together. It is very wrong. There are certain authorities over you that should give you that right. To just do it by yourself makes no sense. And any lady that goes to stay with a man without being released by your parents and all that, you are breaking principles. You are out of order. And it can lead to anything. It can bring cracks on the foundation of your marriage eventually. Are we here together? Then another problem is that apart from the sin aspect, what if the person doesn't eventually marry you again? You understand? The person now makes up his mind that I'm not marrying again. He has eaten all the soup, the meat and everything, and now there's empty plates. It doesn't make any sense. So for your own good, and for the man that probably thinks that it doesn't matter, I'm the man, listen, you're doing yourself much harm. You are not being the model example of a father that God wants us to be as Christians. Purity is essential in our faith, and that's why that is out of place.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together for that brilliant response? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, please, if you know you are outside, please kindly come into the auditorium, because this is important. Kindly join us. We started the panel session already. Thank you so much. So if you're outside, kindly join us right now. All right, so the next question is directed to the cultural architect, to Gaze Baba. So as a gospel musician, if you are invited to collaborate with a big worldly artist, is this a platform for witness or a compromise? So that's the question directed. As a gospel musician, if you are invited to collaborate...
I heard I mean, I think it's contextual. And I treat things like that, even though I have not had to face anyone. But there are a few scenarios that I've not played in my head and thought about. I think it's contextual. I think it is a case-by-case basis, right? So am I saying it is possible to collaborate with, what was the term used?
Worldly.
Okay.
Worldly, that's the word used. Okay, because I'm particular on words. Worldly is different from secular, it's different from carnal.
Let me give you an example. Of course, there's the easy example of, oh, it's a peace song, or it's a song for vote rights. You know those topics that everybody, they come together to sing. There are those ones, yeah? And that's an easy one to, you can have gospel artists, secular artists, Muslim artists, but everybody's coming to encourage the youth to not sell their votes. Everybody's coming together to encourage the youth to stay away from drugs. There are those topics, but I'm not even talking about those easy ones. Let me give you an example. If I decide to make a song speaking against cybercrime, Yahoo, yeah? If I want to make a song like that, and I know an artist that has done it and has stopped because he or she has realized that there's no way in this thing, I can write a verse for that person to sing. I won't give you the liberty. I will write the verse. I'll write it from your point of view. And that artist will be speaking to his or her audience and will be communicating a message to that audience that audience will not hear from me. Because as far as that audience is concerned, I live a holy life, so I can't understand. But if they hear it from the person they know, say, this guy, but for this guy to be saying this thing, are you sure I should not consider this? That's one example. If you do a song with another artist that everybody knows that the artist sleeps around, but everybody knows that you don't sleep around, you know you can do a song about fidelity and write 2 verses from 2 POVs. Yeah, young people, you know what POV is. From 2 POVs. The first POV comes from someone who lives the life and is telling you, I don't know why, I wish I can stop. The second POV is from someone who doesn't live the life and tells you how you can stop. There's a realm of expression that thinks out of the box. Many times, our thinking is locked into a box. And so we are not able to push the frontiers. Paul went into Ephesus, I think it was Ephesus if I'm correct. And as he was walking on the street, he saw a sign that said, to the unknown God. When he faced the people, he didn't tell them, you people are serving nonsense. What's unknown God? I know God. What did he say? He said, I know that you people are religious and you have a heart for God. I saw a sign in your city that said to the unknown God. You see, that unknown God that you don't know, that's who I've come to introduce to you. That's what Paul said. I use that example to tell you that when you see something done, try to take a step back. Don't be rushed to condemn it. Don't see Tasha Cobbs sing with Nicki Minaj and just condemn her without processing, without asking questions, without sitting by yourself and thinking, what are the possible scenarios that can come from this? Don't see, what's his name? This year, good bless him, money, testimony. What's his name? Victor Thompson. Don't see Victor Thompson do a remix of that song with, who was the artist? No, he actually did, an American artist. G-U-N-N-A. Without thinking, just jump to condemn. Take a step back. Reason. Even God said, come, let's reason together. Process them. What are the possible scenarios from this? I've said that to say, as I sit here, will I jump off and do a record like that? Maybe not. I may never do it. But it doesn't mean if someone does it, that it is wrong. It doesn't mean so. It might be wrong for you, and may not be wrong for someone else. That's another context again. There are just different sides to this stuff. And so don't be too straight-jacketed in your view of life and how God moves. God is not limited to your cultural limitations.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. God is not limited to your cultural limitations. So this next question, I think and I believe it flows into this last conversation, and it is directed to Mr. Johnson Abali. It says, sir, how does a mentee manage his popularity and influence in a way that is not seen as a threat or disrespect to his mentor? How does a mentee manage his popularity and influence in a way that is not seen as a threat or disrespect to his mentor?
All right, I don't know if that the person who has a question, I've been reading too much of 48 Laws of Power. Although there is no context to the relationship, whether it's spiritual or generic, but I will give a generic response anyways, and you can apply it spiritually if you want. Number one, every genuine mentor hopes to see you do well, possibly even beyond what they have achieved. Are you following? And so, if you see early signs that the person that you're working with is uncomfortable with your rise, now that is a red flag that says you probably should try to cut off the relationship. Bitter experience will teach you something else, really. That's one. Number two, if what you're deriving from the mentor is substantial enough, and you think that, look, I need to stay because of what I am getting out of this. Many mentees have this problem. They don't give proper credit. Sometimes you help somebody do well, and then they suddenly get to a limelight, and then they sound as though I have been able to pull myself through my bootstrap. I didn't have anybody standing with me or supporting me. And your mentor is listening. That's sad. It doesn't take anything from you to give credit to somebody who has helped you, even if it's just 1 hour of their time they gave you. And to say, I was with X, Y, and Z, and he helped me. Because when you give proper credit, people don't mind anymore. Are you getting what I'm saying? All right? People say, oh, wow, this is it. Now, some people feel if I give too much credit, the mentor will take advantage of that and then begin to feel over-obligated to my success. Are we together? Am I creating all the possible options. So you get it. So now you are in a labyrinth, in a maze, and then you're wondering what is the way out. Simplicity is the way out. Give credit. Acknowledge who has helped you. Do your best possible work. When the relationship is no longer working, walk away with honor. Do you understand? Anywhere you go, continue to say that at a point in my life, X, Y, and Z helped me. Don't try to read complicated books that teaches you how to get manipulative. Do like this. When it's doing like this, go this other way. And a lot of people have allowed Robert Greene to mess up their mindset. And they are now Machiavellian. And the problem with that thinking, my mentor wants to give me a phone. The problem with that thinking is that we see a generation of young people who are becoming very entitled. All right? And so a lot of people are pulling back from mentoring. They just come as though they own you. Come on now. And can I have 2 hours of your time? 2 hours. You don't know what mentoring is. To mentor someone means that you want to give them for free almost years of experience that probably took you a ton of resources, blood, and treasure to be able to acquire. And you want to give it to them for free. And so people tend to choose who they give that quality to, because even Jesus Christ said, do not cast a purse to swine. And so you are looking at evidence that this young person understands value and honor. And that when he gets this beard, he gives honor back and he looks for what to give back. A mentor is not somebody who gives you all the time. It's somebody who provides platform for you to do well, and you must look for something to give back. Those days when we wanted to be mentored by some of our leaders, we were offered to come and make their rooms, arrange their cupboards, do something, clean shoes, do whatever, just look for some kind of value to give. And then that encouraged them to want to even give us some more opportunities and so on and so forth. And it does not take anything from you to acknowledge other people. Please, it doesn't. All right? Just go there and say, thank God. Do we see the beautiful relationship between Dr. David Oyedepo and Pastor E.A. Adeboye? Don't you just love it? Bishop does not think twice to bend the knee and let pastor pray. And pastor too, when he visits altar, gives him due honor and credit. And it's just a beautiful symmetry of relationship, the kind of things we should see more and more often, whether the relationship is spiritual or is secular. Do we understand? Honor whoever has given you anything of value, especially when you start to do well and when you meet people who are probably wealthier than him, more influential than him. Don't look down on them. These are the people who provided their backs for you to rise in the first place. It's stupid to dishonor them in any which way. Do you understand that? I hope that helps.
Awesome. I think that deserves a round of applause. So, the next question here is directed to Ms. Ronke, and it says, in your experience launching tech academies like Tech Teen and Testify, what mindset shifts can one rise from mere skill acquisition to disrupt systems? Should I take that again? In your experience launching tech-focused academies like Tech Teen, what mindset shifts can one make to rise from mere skill acquisition to disrupt systems?
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't lucky in the breakout session as well. All right, I would say I don't really think the first drive was a mind shift. I think it was more about the assignment that has always been. Because when I hear people say mind shift a lot of times, we think it's just to shift your mind to the left and right and then move on. For me, it was more about how I should do what I wanted to do. If I needed to speak to achieve it, I would have spoken to achieve it. If I needed to write to achieve it, I would have written to achieve it. But the course gave the platform for me to be able to train people and be able to help them mentor. For anyone that's taking any of my courses before, you understand that it's beyond learning the skill. It's about remodeling the way you reason and helping you to see beyond the limits you have grounded from. So for me, one was identifying the purpose God wanted me to do with that platform. Like I said, beyond you want to train people and help people to acquire skills. Anybody can acquire skills anywhere. There are a lot of platforms that gives rooms for you to acquire skills. But for me, it was more about this is what God wanted me to do at that point, and that was the way for me to have done it. Over the years, have I shifted away from just creating courses to train people? Yes. I've been opportunity to write books. I've been opportunity to speak at different platforms. But that taking of academy to really train people is beyond the course. It was about remodeling people for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Can we put our hands together for that? All right, this next question is directed to Mrs. Adirunke, and it says, Ma, I'm scared of certain prices on my product. I fear it will be too expensive for people, especially as the people around me are students. What do I do? Yeah, so I'm scared of certain prices on my products. I fear it will be too expensive for people, especially as the people around me are students. How do I do? What do I do?
All right. Setting prices for products and commodities. I wouldn't know in the question, and we don't know the exact product you are talking about. But I would say the price of a product should be determined by the value of time you have put into that product. One. Prices also could be determined by the solution you want that product, the problem you want that particular product to solve. Then number three, I think I talked about excellence. The quality or the quantity of excellence you have put into it goes a long way. If there are students, among students you have rich students. Even among students, you must determine the niche you want to serve. For example, let me give a practical scenario, though this is not related to student products or school life. When my husband was going to turn 50, that was last year, I was looking for a very good gift to give to him. I wanted him to wear something very beautiful on that day. So I was, thinking. I had to link up with a friend. And she told me, oh, I can give you this designer. I wanted something. My husband buys designer things. I think God helped me to train him over the years. So he has graduated, to an extent. So I wanted to beat that imagination of the capacity he was operating at, just in a loving way. So I think it was January, I started thinking his birthday was going to be in March, talking about fixing prices. So I linked up with my friend, who gave me a designer who was going to make a very special suit for him to wear on his birthday. And when I heard the price, I was like, if my husband should hear that I spent this kind of money, will he not say I'm wasteful? Well, and also I convinced myself, I said, but it's my money. And then by then, the surprise would have been done. Surprises come with emotions. I just wanted to get that contact with that emotion. So eventually, I was able to we ordered that suit in January. I gave him the date I wanted it delivered, like a week before the birthday. I told him I wanted it urgently. Now, the quality, he gave me a sample of how I saw a similar sample on somebody, and I said I wanted this particular style and design. I just wanted a different color. Put this stone here, put that stone here. Now, why I'm giving you this story is the quality and the value and intentionalities of the designers, of that particular designer, was what eventually determined how much I paid for it. I paid almost a 500,000 for one suit, to the glory of God. Now, yes, to the glory of God. Now, even me, as at that time, I've not bought anything worth that for myself. But that, my answer is that designer was able to get me to pay that value because of the excellence he put into it, the intentionality he put into it, the quality he put into it, and the fact that he was going to do a tailor custom made just for my husband. Now, it was quite challenging to do that for him because I didn't know his size. I didn't know his shoulder size, his bed size. So I had to snap this suit, snap this label, snap this wear, gave him a lot of pictures because we didn't want him to know. So I couldn't ask him, Baba, what's your size? What's your waist size? So I had to do a lot of work and all that. Eventually, we gave it to that guy. When it was 12, when I got the gift, I went to wrap it somewhere where he would not see as we were preparing for the birthday the following day. By the time we got, I like stories. This story will drive in my point. By the time it was 12 midnight, my husband was already sleeping. We already prayed and everybody went to bed. I went to my own room. I brought my wrapped suit gift. I wrapped it in such a way that he will never believe what I put in it. So, and I put it beside him and I woke him up and I started singing his birthday song. I said, I want to be the first person to give you a very special birthday gift this morning. And I gave it to him. He was like, he lets you shoot now. Checking more as in, he's late and all that. I said, no, this one cannot wait till the morning. Eventually, he began to unwrap it one by one. I made him unwrap it because I wanted that emotion. So he started unwrapping. By the time he got to the base where the real gift, it was a tuxedo suit. He brought it out one by one. He said, what? Where did you get this? Where did you get this? He started dressing immediately. He finished dressing up. I said, but it's late. We are not yet in the birthday. He said, no, I want to see how he will look on me. He now went to the mirror. He woke the children and said, come and see. That was it for me. So whatever amount of money I paid was already, I got the value. And on the birthday, he wore it. It was everywhere to the glory of God. So now if somebody had done 100,000 suits that didn't put in all those structure, it can't satisfy me. So now fixing prices, there are many factors you have to look at. The excellence, the quality, even the material. Then the time of the designer. Most time when we are creating products and services, you don't value your own time. When I valued that man's time and I saw what he did, I said, come on, I've not been able to do a second one. I've been calling him again and again, reduce for me. But that first one is so lovely. So if you want to produce any product, don't just be carried away by they can't buy it. I think it's a mindset we need to remove from it. There is no level of excellence that you cultivate that you don't get the right people that will pay for it. God bless you.
Awesome. All right, so this next question is directed to Pastor Mavis, and I think there's also another one which is similar, and I'd like to take them both. How can we find our mountain of influence, and how do we know if we are on the right mountain of influence? The second question is, how do you discover your purpose when God is showing you different visions about your direction?
The mountain of influence that you belong to, the same way you discover your purpose in God, that's how you discover where you belong. If you're on top of it, if you are going to be operating in a particular mountain of influence, sometimes it depends. You understand? Purpose can lead you there. You might have skills that point to the fact that that's where God is leading you to. Your skills. Then you can have a divine calling from God that is where He wants you to operate. Opportunity can also lead you to a particular mountain, and God says this is not just an opportunity, it's an open door to fulfill purpose. So there are different things that can lead you to the mountain and the area. Your gift and talent. If you are an artistic person, you already know your mountain of influence. If you come from a family where you probably had bad marriages and all that, and God is speaking to your heart to address, you go to family and stay there. You might even have a marriage that is so good, and God is saying the ones that are out are bad, and you have seen too much of good. Go and tell them the good you have seen. So you already know. So your heart, God will speak to your heart using your gifts, your talents, opportunities, people, everything around you will resonate and speak to the area you are called to be. Sometimes it's even opportunity inheritance. Your parents might have done something so much on a particular mountain. All of your siblings are not willing to be there, but your heart is drawn to it. You go there. It's not that you have to be forced. You don't have to pressure yourself. You don't have to go because this mountain is more influential. People are excited about this, or the name is popular and all that. No. You go to where you are led by the Spirit, or that the Spirit has organized the systems for discovery of purpose that has to do with skills, abilities, talents. I might not hear anything from God, but based on all that God has put inside of me, that's the direction that I'm seeing. I'll go there first. Then when I get there, we'll continue the hearing for the next phase. Because so many people don't want to start. They don't want to move. But say, I want to hear God, I want to hear God. Your skills help you hear God. Your talents help you hear God. Your opportunities help you hear God. The people around you help you hear God. You start from there. Then if God gives you a specific word, that's a different thing. So whichever area God speaks to your heart in that direction, the mountain opens. Then when you enter a particular mountain, you might have to move to other mountains depending on how God leads you. Somebody can start with music, like for instance, Gay started is music. Then podcasting became the order of the day and all that. Then I believe he was led also to move into that direction. Who knows, tomorrow, he also does things that have to do with sexual purity, to young people and all that campaign. So, you just find yourself, in other areas. Make her help you, they blow your trumpets now. So things like that. For me, ministry basically is what I do. Then I do family. I was just talking to Mrs. Bironke, that we're having plans, Adironke rather, we're having plans that we want to do education. And we're supposed to come and learn some things from her. I've been talking about that. So that's another mountain. I've been doing education on the ministry, education, business. So you see, as you move in life, God begins to open you up to other things. But start from where you are based on your leading.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. And I think that deserves a round of applause. So because our time is fast spent, I'll ensure that I merge two questions together. And I think this is directed to Gaze Baba. And it says, sir, you made a statement that Afro gospel was seen as too worldly for the church and too churchy for the world. How can I position myself to disrupt by bringing people closer to God through my art and fashion? And the second, looking back, what would you do differently in the first 2 years of your journey to accelerate growth? So, I'll come again.
First of all, I don't understand that first question.
Okay.
I don't understand.
So it says, you made a statement that Afro gospel was seen as too worldly for the church and how can I position myself to disrupt by bringing people closer to God through my art and fashion?
What's the connection between Afro gospel being too church for the world, too worldly for the church, and you positioning yourself to bring people to God with art and fashion? The math is not mathing. So I don't know where to come from to answer that. I'm sorry.
So I think the second question is, looking back, what would you do differently in the first 2 years of your journey to accelerate growth?
Okay. I wish I know the person. Because I answered that question. Thank you very much. I already answered it inside.
Right. So
unless the person went to another breakout session, the person wants to chop from 3 places. And what I said, because there was a brilliant question from one of the persons here who said, if I go back in time, what will I do differently? And what I said was, I'll calm down. I will just calm down. And I will not time God. I won't time God. I will trust His timing. When He says His time, His time. The one that is in your control is faithfulness. What He has put in your hands and is similar to what Pastor Marvis was speaking about. What He has put in your hands now, do it with all your heart. Be faithful at it. He promised Abraham, speaking at 75. The child came at 100. That's 25 years. He did not tell Abraham, you wait 25 years. He didn't tell Joseph, you wait 13. He didn't tell David, you wait 13. Jesus himself waited 18. If you now to calculate time in the Bible, you see it. He was 12 when he was already dishing out Kenny with scribes. Yes, now he was already analyzing scripture, analyzing things, and God said, you will calm down. Then they pulled him from there. We will not hear anything again of Jesus from that time. till when he was 30. The Bible just went, mum. But if you go into the epistles, I believe, you see where it is written that Jesus learned obedience by the things he suffered. Which means Jesus been suffer. So you see all those moments where you feel like giving up, things are tough, there's nothing to eat. It's part of your training. Enjoy the journey. When you come into the fullness of time and you have manifested, all the lessons that you have picked along the way will be part of the ingredients that have now built the cake that you are serving people.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the next question here, as we begin to round off, is directed to Mr. Johnson Abali. I'm struggling to balance between business, entertainment, social impact, service in church, and education. I know I'm supposed to do all of these things, but it is a lot.
All right. I think this question should be directed to Apostle Paul. He's the one who is all things to all men. To the barbarian, he became a barbarian. Is this absolutely possible that you could be multi-talented? The key is always to find the core. There is always a core talent that anchors all the other multiple other things you will do later. And I used to tell people, you don't have to find it, just become aware of it. It's there. For instance, if you attend a party, walk into the hall where the party is taking place. Please pay attention to what catches your attention first. If you walk into the place and, oh my God, I like the sound. What kind of speaker are they using for this thing? That's you. That's your first natural instinct. Pay attention to it. If you walk into the hall and, oh my God, this is beautiful. Look at the ribbons they use for this thing. This model is very expensive. You are paying attention to ribbons. That's your rhythm. You come and say, damn, man, see shoes, man. See that, oh boy, is that Brooks? Shoe caught your attention. It's speaking to you. Some other people will be, oh my God, look at the dress. Guy, I like your dress sense. Other people will come there to listen to who got to speak. And as soon as they get into the place, yes, some people come in, oh boy, how did your love be? No, some people can come into the place and the first attention is the aroma and choose a table close to that exit. All right? Others will, you get a picture. It is in the small things that purpose is revealed. Always, it's a still, small voice. The reason you miss it is because you are overwhelmed by what other people are doing. The human mind, the limbic system of our brain is like a sponge. Anything you expose it to, it imbibes it and wants to be it now. But give it time. After 1 or 2 weeks, it will wither away. That wasn't you. That's why we tell people, interest is not passion. Interest is born out of exposure. Once you're exposed to something, you pick up an interest in it. But that's not you. You got a picture? There are some people who are in music because they grew up in a musical community. And so, but myself, I feel do this thing. No? The same people, if they were in a barracks, they probably become soldiers. you got a picture. And so people just move back and forth like that. And then in the end, they come to realize that I think I should be doing more. Pay attention to the small things. The small things that tickle your interest. The thing about people that catches you. For some people, they can come to that event and it is the speakers they want to listen to. And once people start to speak, the articulation, the way the words are organized and all of that, that's it for them. They don't care about anything else. That's your direction. So find it. Once you find that one thing, pour everything you've got into that thing. That's the first phase. But as you start to build that phase, it is only a matter of time. Your profiting will be made known unto all men. And as that core starts to do well, it becomes your primary brand in the world. And that brand will now allow you to soft land everything else you have. If you want to go into education, you want to go into activism, you want to go, people first know you for something. That one thing is what now anchors all the other dreams. Are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? We all know Pastor Oji for his fiery passion, right? When he preaches, I was asking him, where will I get some of this your energy from? My God, he literally vibrates when he speaks. You can boil egg on the altar. So that is what he's known for. If tomorrow he leverages that to be some of the biggest educational institution, it's passion in his life. But that passion are anchored on the work that he's doing. You understand what I'm trying to say? Several other things, all the other things that you want to do will not happen at the same time. We can call Jesus Christ Lord of the Ring. You can call him Lord of the Ocean. You can call him whatever, but he was first carpenter's son. You see that? He learned the very trade that was going to be the pathway to how he will leave this earth. Wood and nails. And everything else came in between. And in the end, it was still the wood and nails that was relevant. God chose a carpenter for a purpose. So that as he's driving in the nail, he has to do it with compassion. Because that day, that will be you.
Awesome.
So everything else builds from there. So start building that way. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, you would agree with me that we can't ask all of the questions. And according to some of the questions we have here, we also have some of them that are repetitive. So other questions have also been spoken about during our sessions. So we have several sessions that were asked, or several questions that were asked and directed to Ms. Adorenke, but they've been answered during your session. So you would want to also maybe watch that session again. And because of our time is fast spent, we would like to draw the curtain here. And please, can you appreciate all our panelists? Please, can you appreciate all our... Can you do more than that? You can do better than that. Please. Oh, sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. Please.